management, since where you are a section head or whether you are a unit head or whether you are running your own business, you have to manage people. The first and foremost thing is that, see, machines you can repair, you can do whatever you want with other assets, money you can get from somewhere else. But people is the basic building block on which whole of your future depends. If I can motivate my people, if I can carry the people with me, then my objectives will be met, otherwise they will not be. So the first and foremost principle which I follow is that treat everybody as a human being. That is the most important thing. If I treat people with dignity, then I will get respect and dignity, otherwise I will not. You are specifically talking from the point of view of behavior and behavior of the employees. We are not talking about the market and the marketplace variables and things like that, which are basically related with the business aspects. As far as the employees are concerned, the communication channels should be open. That is the first and foremost principle. That if I walk through, I should be able to talk with everybody. This is a small company, so it is easy for me to maintain personal contacts. But even in big companies, where we used to have more than 1,000 employees, also, most of the people, we made it a point to know them personally. When you walk through, you should be able to make an eye contact with a person, just say hello, what is he doing and all that. You need not do it for every person every day. But people should be willing to come forward and talk to you in case there is a difficulty. They should know that yes, if I have a difficulty and I want to tell somebody, this man is accessible. So accessibility is very important from top to bottom. Okay, this is the first thing which I have in mind. Second thing is they should understand clearly what is expected from them. The expectations should be clear. A security guard should know what is expected from him, and a manager should know what is expected from him. And there, the communication is very important. I consider that communication is not, see, this is very generally understood by everybody. Communication is not what I tell you, communication is what you understand. So I must also ensure that what I am telling is understood by the people. So the onus of clear communication lies with the senior man. That is my understanding. Tomorrow we say that, oh, I told you, you didn't do it. Then he says, I did not understand. No, if he hasn't understood, it is my responsibility and I must ensure that he understands what I do. So compliance comes from that. The rules should be simple. There should be few rules. You should not make a labyrinth of rules and then the man gets trapped into it and he cannot work. But at the same time, there should be clear rules which the person should be willing to understand. They should be understandable and they should be compliable. People should understand them easily. Language should be easy and they should know. Like everybody knows here that they are not allowed to smoke inside. That is very clear. So, if anybody does any mischief, there are people who will report to me that this man is doing something wrong. So, the accessibility is important from that for compliance. Then, if there are at a personal level, you see, they work in companies, they will spend a lot of time here, but everybody has difficulties at family level. The company should not become impersonal. My personal observation is that large organizations, they become impersonal. The human aspect is lost. The rules are there for human beings. Human beings are not for rules. So when to deviate from the rule, that authority should be there, clearly understood who has that, and that should be used. Like I give examples there, sometimes you have rules for leaves. But we have a unsaid rule which people understand. If somebody, unfortunate incident happens at somebody's place, one of the parents expires or a brother expires, something goes wrong, then we don't, if he is absent for 13 days, 14 days, we don't deduct his salary. It's not written anywhere. Then somebody is sick, we know a person is genuinely sick and he needs help, or his family, somebody is there, then we go out of the way to see that help is rendered to him. In COVID there are examples. We had purchased an oxygen cylinder and an oxygen machine and everything kept ready with us. So this kind of human, what I said, treat every human being as a human being, then the response will be there. It is reciprocal. See, in a big organization, you have to follow, you are in a group and it's a group dynamics. There is little scope for individuality. Individuality scope is there, but it is limited. I would not say there is no scope. There was a lot of scope. I did a lot of work there and I was recognized for my work. But the scope is limited in terms of rewards. The rewards cannot be specially put for people. It is in a general system. So if the general promotion is in 3 years, you do excellent work, you cannot get a promotion in 2 years, whatever you do. So these kind of limitations are there in large organizations, particularly in the government organizations. Second point is, at that time the remuneration was very poor. See, I will put it a little differently, because the problems are related with the baggage which the employees bring with them. The organization, you are not getting a clean slate. A man is already formed and then he comes. So what happened in his formative years? That is very important for their future behavior. Now when they are coming here, say the education system as well as what is happening in their household, hardly there is any talk of value systems or what is expected out of them, what they should behave, the way they are supposed to behave. You see unruliness all over in the society. See, we are not able to inculcate any value because nobody talks of value systems. Which organization is talking about value systems basically? In the education system, we are talking only of getting certificates and passing. The new education policy may make a change, but it will take 30 years possibly to see the first results of that policy. Earlier days, in my opinion, see the cultural, there is a religion, there is culture, there is history, but the culture is the way we are groomed to behave. When there is nobody watching, how do I behave? Now that behavior is decided by what is my background and what is put into me, how I have been told to behave. So that is missing in our today's society. See, in our time we used to say that possibly the current generation is not knowing. But now I am seeing that the gap is that the children, what is to be taught, their parents are not knowing. So how they will know? So the basic problem starts from there. Then our today's generation, they are basically, their money is the God. Everybody wants money because it is all I am sorry to say, but it is the Western marketing culture or the materialistic aspects which have spoiled the thinking, and they are marketing in such a fashion. You might have heard yesterday there is a big case in the US. Some 20 states have put up a case on these people that they are Insta and all that, Facebook, X, they are making it habitual. They are making people addictive. Now if I see somebody is wearing a branded shirt, I am not able to understand why my grandson needs a branded shirt when I don't need it. Now that difference possibly comes from the background and the behavior and all that. So everybody wants money. You see, his friend, my grandson's father is an industrialist, but his friend may not be an industrialist, he may be a teacher, he may not be able to afford. Now the question is, that thing will not come to his mind. He also will like to have branded shirt. The materialistic aspects are becoming much more important than other value systems. So that is the basic reason. And then the behavior, unruly behavior is sort of rewarded in movies many times. You see the influence of the movies and all these things. It's not they don't see something. Man bites a dog is a news. Dog bites a man is not a news. So something wrong they show, and the people are flocking to those movies and all that. So it's bad influence. There is no good influence at the house. There is no good influence in the school other than studies. And then environment is creating only negative impacts, negative stories. So this is the reason. And when they get together, it is totally out of control. The mob behavior, mob psychology is worse than individual. Business is only a reflection of what is happening in the society. So business cannot be a separate island as compared to what is happening in the society. It's a reflection. So if you want to improve really the business ethics, then the society value system should improve, which starts from education. Basically, what I would like to say is that I am able to talk all these things because what my parents taught me. Since they gave me an early exposure to Bhagavad Gita, I am very much, what I should say, devotee to that book. I read it whenever time is there. Every day, little portion I read. Now that has been going on for generations in our family. So there has to be something. See, if you don't have an anchor, the value systems are your anchor. In case of difficulty, they tell you how to behave, what to do. You don't have to every time start finding, inventing wheels. Now this situation, what I have to do. So those things should be inculcated. For that, we need little bit of moral education in the schools first. What is right, what is wrong? If man passes a degree, comes to, and he starts getting 50,000 rupees, and then he is free in the society, what he does? Who tells him what is right and wrong? So I should be able to find out my answers for right and wrong. The people who are, they have some problem with their head, they will start finding solutions, they will start thinking. But general public doesn't bother. They will just go and eat, drink and be merry, enjoy. Now there they don't have any moral compulsions of what is right and wrong. That should be taught first. Then coming to the industry, when you are going for a business, starting a business, see, when people say that I am doing for philanthropic work, I am doing for employment, I am doing for this and that and all that, for that you can start an NGO. Why do you start a business? Business is basically profit. Profit is the primary objective of the business, because that is how the business will sustain. So there is nothing wrong in saying that business should be profitable. We work for profit. I started a business so that my family can survive. With that, if 100 families are surviving, that is a great advantage. But I have not started a business for 100 families. When people say that you are doing a lot of social work and all that, I don't agree. It is a consequence of what I am doing. It is not the objective. But when we want to do social work, do something else, that is a different. Then I am not looking for money or personal gains. I am doing for something else. So let's not mix up the issues. Profit is important, but when we are doing profit, looking at the profit at what cost? That we should understand. And there the question comes up of ethics, compliance. Compliance is government. We are talking compliance with what is told by the statutes and whether I am following or not. But certain things go beyond that. So I should be, understand social responsibility. I should understand. Now government has to put in a rule for CSR. Obviously, it means that there was no concept of social responsibility before CSR. So why? Because I am not bothered about what is happening in the society. I am not bothered about what is happening to the environment. All these things we have to bother. So more and more I start looking at me and my surroundings, people around me and the world nearby. More I worry, the business will become more sustainable and more inclusive. So we have to go for inclusivity and sustainability. Right? We should not differentiate between different kinds of people. Of course, everybody says we are secular and all that. Secular does not mean we do not follow religion. I would like to make it very clear. We are having all confused people here. I am secular doesn't mean that I don't follow any religion. I respect everybody, that is the meaning. But we are saying that I am secular means I lost my religion also. Now, there is no anchor. I am like a boat in a sea, left somewhere and going somewhere. I don't know where I am going. So this kind of situation should not be there. So if you are mad after money, then what happens is like, the drug factories come. Nasik, we are hearing a lot of drug factories are there. You should run the business in a fashion so that it is useful for the society. All stakeholders are taken care. That is how business should be. I would like to emphasize once again that there is a lot of need for to educate the children. If you want a bright future, then education doesn't mean only degrees and knowing the mathematics and science and all that. Moral education is missing. We are not telling them moral stories. We are not telling anything. There is no formal efforts towards that. So that is very much missing. And if we want our society to improve and sustain, then we must look at the people as a government is thinking a lot of things and national education policy. But little bit faster is required. Immediately something is required. Today's children will come out and after 20 years. What happens to people today? Is there any method by which we can reach out to them? That we need to think.